Coming up, Belize at 39. A very special Independence Day episode of the podcast.
You're listening to Brent's 2 Cents, the semi-serious thoughts of a guy in Belize. And now here's the host of this podcast from somewhere in Belize City, Brent Toombs.
Hey, welcome to the podcast for the week of September the 21st. Happy birthday, Belize, and happy Independence Day to everyone listening here at home or abroad. The September celebrations are in full swing, even if most of the celebrating is being done virtually this year. But that doesn't mean a lot didn't happen last week worth talking about. Now, one of the big news items last week was what happened or didn't happen with the Equal Opportunities Bill. And I've got plenty to say about that. But let me take a page from the cabinet playbook and just kick that can down the road for right now. Instead, I just want to celebrate the 39th birthday of Belize. Now, last week, I asked you, the listeners of this podcast, to send me messages about what Belize means to you. And the response was amazing. So that's what we're going to do this week. Instead of Brent's 2 cents, how about let's hear your 2 cents about what Belize means to you? Now, most of the messages I got are positive ones, but you are going to hear some constructive criticism, and that's because I don't censor anyone. I figure as long as I get to give you my own unfiltered opinion about things, you deserve the same opportunity. But I have edited some of the clips just for the sake of time.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system.
Hi, this is Brent. Thanks for calling the Your 2 Cents hotline. Please leave a message about anything you want to talk about after the beep.
For me, Belize is the home. And when you're the home, you breathe different. You feel different. Colors look brighter. Food tastes sweeter. And you know where all the smell they mean. Belize is the for we. And yeah, we roughing up when we're ready. But only we could do that. Nobody else. And even when things take we out of Belize, they can't take the Belize out of we. Instant, everything Belize got one gravitational pull. You find plantain in the store, and next thing you know, they set off fire alarm so you could wax off a whole plate of fried plantain. And now ask how proud you're proud when you make your own meat pie or panades. And from there, they always count down to when you're the home again. For listen to the same song them on the radio station, bathe the river or go to sea, or just the round table with your family. Belize is not perfect. Home never is. When hurricane they threaten, you feel that in your belly bottom. And your heart only hurts you when the disaster is of our own design. But when we come together for celebrating, for show Belize we love her, that not just pretty, it's pretty bad.
As we approach another birthday for Belize and we celebrate another Independence Day, there's just too much to say about Belize. But I have to take it down to one word, and it's a simple word. For me, Belize is everything. It's everything that I live and I breathe. We live in a jewel, and despite whatever negative challenges we have, this place is one of the most beautiful places with the most beautiful people, and we are full of love for each other. We are the melting pot. We are Belize. We are the land of the free by the Caribbean Sea, and there's nothing better than that.
What does Belize mean to me? So I've had the opportunity to live abroad and to travel to quite a few countries. And whenever I think of Belize, one song comes to mind, and it's the one that says, "You can go, but you must come back." Belize will always be home. Belize will always have a piece of my heart, no matter where I am in the world. And I'm always so proud to represent Belize. Nothing makes me prouder than seeing that flag fly wherever it is because I know what it means to me. I know that I have freedoms in Belize that I might never be able, or that people in other countries may never be able to enjoy. Belize is knowing that when you walk off that airplane at the Philip Golson Airport and you feel that warmth, that you're home because, your belly string barrier.
Happy birthday, Belize. This is Aria Lightfoot from Toucan View. If you ask me what Belize means to me, it's a very difficult question to answer because there's such deep emotions that tied to the roots where you're from. And one thing I do know is that there's so much potential. There have been so much growth. There's so much energy and passion that revolves around Belize. It's dynamic, it's diverse, it's cultural, it's painful. It is where my navel string is buried. With that said, I will always have an affinity, a wanting to change, a need to go back into my community and give back what I have been given, create change where change can be made. Thank you, Brent. And again, happy birthday, Belize.
What's on my mind as we head into the holiday is Belize's lack of independence. I think the COVID epidemic has shown us just how dependent we are on U.S. tourism and foreign exchange. Portions of the country have completely shut down because some Americans can't come to visit, which is just crazy. People have been encouraged to get into tourism for decades, and people are losing their livelihoods, losing their restaurants, in danger of losing their hotels because we had a shutdown. So this has to be an opportunity to look at how we can cultivate some local tourism that was just getting off the ground, and then we had a wave. But let's not lose that optimism. Let's hope that we can continue to diversify the tourism package even after COVID dies down. We constantly are seeing donations, loans, handouts, begging for money in all different sectors, medical, law enforcement, everywhere. I think it's time for Belize to become independent. I think it's time for us to start using our own expertise and the expertise of Belizeans who have studied abroad, lived abroad, tried to come home, want to come home, but most importantly, the people who have stayed and kept fighting all this time.
We still cannot define her name. It can be that it derives from Balitz, the Maya word that means muddy waters, or from Wallis, one of the very first Englishmen to set foot on our land, or from Bilikin, a Maya word meaning road to the east, maybe even a river in Africa. Hi, I am Javier Gutierrez, host of the Belize Travelcast, out of San Ignacio, Cayo. To me, Belize means love. To me, Belize means a land that makes me live, makes me feed, makes me laugh, makes me grow. So we must all love our little nation, Belize.
Hey, Brent, this is Jim Scott. Great podcast, man. Listen, you wanted a message about celebrations, and mine started in 1987. And there was a gentleman who used to go to the same gym I did at the Civic Center at the time. And I used to always say hi to him early in the morning. He was always there. And then during the street party on Queen Street, there was a break in the music. It was a weekend street party, and he gets up and he gives a speech. It was Saeed Musa. And I didn't know anything about politics then or politicians, but I spoke to him afterwards, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I never knew you were a politician. And he says, well, Jim, you're getting to know Belize, and you're going to learn a lot of things as you move forward. Well, it was a great memory for me. He was always a complete gentleman, and I know that Saeed Musa has recently retired and with honors. And it was just a great memory, and it really, that genuine kind of professional, hospitable welcome moved me, and I have really enjoyed celebrations throughout these 30 plus years. And Belize is home, and I celebrate the 10th and the 21st like everyone else.
I believe that our country Belize is one of the most beautiful and pristine countries in the world. However, as I became an adult, I've realized some hard truths about our beautiful and small nation. We have an exceptionally high unemployment rate. We have high foreign debts and a growing trade imbalance, and a lot of political corruption, the latter of which contributes to the aforementioned. The sad part is, our fellow Belizeans, my fellow Belizeans, are complicit each and every time they sell their vote. I also find that we are not as respectful of each other's differences as the old adage, Belize is a melting pot, would lead you to believe. We are many cultured, yes, but as with many countries, they are the ruling elite, and then there are the minorities. The minorities who do not have access to the same rights and privileges as those who are in charge and in power. And it makes me question, what will be left for my children and their children after? Because such practices where the wealth and opportunity is only for a select few is simply not stable for any economy. Belize is my home and my country. I've never lived anywhere else, and I don't think I want to. But I do wish things were different, and I hope it changes soon. I hope it changes so that there's equal opportunity for each person regardless of ethnicity, culture, background, sexual orientation, religious belief, or wealth, because such needed change is ultimately for the betterment of the entire nation.
What does Belize mean to me? Being a Belizean girl, Garifuna girl from the south side of Belize City, Belize means freedom. I had the freedom to choose. Despite whatever challenges I may have faced given my circumstances, I was able to at least open a book, educate myself, and allow myself to think and expand my thoughts. And so I think that's one of the beautiful things about our country is that you are given the choice. There are a lot of blockage preventing young people from moving forward, yes. But you know something? If you educate yourself and if you read, you will allow yourself to have access to a vast amount of knowledge that can help you to navigate through any of the roadblocks that are set in path for you. So I think that's what's important about being a Belizean, and that's what Belize means to me. Belize means that I have a choice, and I appreciate that about being a Belizean.
Yo, this is Lam here with Change the Narrative.
This is Kim. What's up, Belize?
But Kim, we're here for one special reason. Guess what?
It is Belize's Independence Day.
Yeah, Belize is 39 years old. September 21st, 1981. Long but short period. Man, we got a long ways to go. But what you miss most about Belize, Kim?
Man, I miss and love everything about Belize. I love the beaches. I love the people first and foremost.
I love my peoples too. But check this out. What people do you miss?
The Creole, of course.
Yo, shout out to the Garinaga people. Shout out to the Mestizo.
The Mennonites.
The Mennonites, the Chinese.
That's
you know,
right.
all of us, man, one under one umbrella, man. But what I miss most, man, are the districts. Kaya, PG, Stanton Creek, Toledo District, Belize District. It's all love. The villages, you know, going to San Pedro and Buck.
For sure. And then there's the food, of course.
Man, you already know the rice and beans, chicken and salad. You already know the tacos,
the
meat pies. You already know the whole nine yards. The tamales the same way.
For sure.
Yo, Belize, it's all love. We miss it all. We love it all. So happy Independence Day, and be safe and enjoy your day.
Happy Independence Day, Belize. Peace out.
Peace.
Hello, listeners. Joe Chung here, proud resident of Belize for the past 12 years. I'll be honest, I first became interested in Belize to capitalize on its people and tourists. I originally visited with the purpose of establishing a restaurant and nightclub and to assist in a large development. What started as a 2-week scheduled trip turned into a month, then 2 months, and now 12 years. So what has kept me here this long? Not the resort development, not the nightclub. Hell, those things never even came to fruition. But what did keep me here? Well, I fell in love. I fell in love with the rustically beautiful country. From the hustle and bustle of Belize City, yes, Belize City, to the beautiful town of San Ignacio, to the jungles of Belmopan, to the beaches of Placencia, and now the amazing attraction of San Pedro, where I currently reside, I have found that Belizeans are the most welcoming, most passionate, and the most giving people that I've ever encountered during my travels. I now sit on the board of a nonprofit organization that gives back to the community. Instead of trying to change Belize and capitalize off its people, as was my original intent, I now do what I can to give back to the very people that have accepted me into their country. Belize has changed my life, my perspective of success, my attitude towards others. It has made me into the person that I am today. Belize means everything to me, and I am proud to call it my home. Happy Independence Day.
As an older person, I am saddened and disappointed to see where we are in Belize. I had expected so much more for Belize. I made a conscious decision not to migrate in 1983 and stayed here for love of country, being committed and thinking if all of us leave, then what? But as I look back and I see how we as a people, we've allowed the political directorate to rape this country and to deprive this country and its people of succeeding to be all that we can be, so much more than where we are today. And so I have mixed feelings. I don't regret staying because of where I live in Belmopan. I have been afforded a really, really good quality of life. And so for that reason, I have no regrets. But I am very disappointed in us as a people and in our politicians. We are better than this. We can be bigger than this. We can do so much more for ourselves. And I hope that maybe we can make a start. Maybe it's not too late, not in my generation, but for the other generations to come.
From my observation, patriotism in Belize is dead. The only time it surfaces in a form of jingoism is when we somehow make an effort to celebrate the attainment of Belize's independence. My wife and I, we were in love with Belize, and we're still in love with the place where we live. But what has happened since is that our politicians have forfeited our independence. We have a bloated national debt, and our country has become virtually dependent on a foreign state for survival. We have a cut and paste constitution, and our politicians' only ambition is to create a political elite and to feed gluttonously from the public trough. There is no reason to be patriotic, despite the fact that I love where I live, I love my environment, I love my country.
Hi, Brent. Thank you for inviting me on your podcast. I have always been proud to call Belize home, and I love my hometown, and I'm a proud San Pedrana. But when I get a chance to leave and visit another part of Belize, I take it. And no matter where I visit, I fall head over heels in love with the nature or the people. There's just no place like Belize to me. There is just a sense of community everywhere I go. And I just love that you can quarrel with somebody one day and then the next day you find out that your sister, friend, cousin, brother, and you want to say, sorry, boy, I never know you that so-and-so, brother. You both laugh, and the next time you buck, you greet each other with, what's up, sister? So that's how Belize is for me. She's that tough love mom. She's that sister that you can tease, but don't let anyone else bully her and your claws come out, as we say in Creole. No mess with Belize. Belize is not perfect. There is so much more I want for her, so many goals she needs to reach, and I feel it is in each of us to help her reach them. So to me, Belize is not just a country I call home. To me, Belize means so much more. Belize is my family. She's my accomplishments, my goals. Belize is love. Belize means everything.
This has been a really hard question for me to answer because I have had mixed feelings about life in Belize. I have felt like a misfit in Belize. I have felt like an oppressed person in Belize. I felt like I've been treated unfairly. I've been victimized. But I think as I get older, I've realized that Belize is a place that rewards hard work. You have to be tough. It's a good fight. I think as more people find themselves on an enlightened path, I think that we can really help to just lift others in Belize, help them rise up and move this country forward. I think it's a special time to be here. There's something on the horizon. I think there's a lot of opportunity in Belize. More people are recognizing that. And I'm feeling like this is where I want to be, finally. Took a long time.
Happy Independence Day, Belize, to everyone in the Jewel, to all Belizeans throughout the world, throughout the diaspora, like myself here in Southern California. My name is Kareem Ferguson. Belize means to me courage. Our citizenry, our people in general, as imperfect as we are, have had the courage to lean into social issues surrounding women, surrounding gender rights. We lean into environmental issues to make sure our country stays healthy. We lean into political issues to make sure that our leaders are accountable. And again, it's a work in progress, but Belizeans are truly making an example for many other sister nations in the Caribbean and in Latin America. So I'm proud to be a Belizean. Happy Independence Day, Belize. Brent, thank you for giving me this opportunity to share that I'm also an artist, and I have a podcast called the Parity Project Podcast. Brent, it's so wonderful to listen to you on Monday mornings when you get really passionate and you're broken on Ali Creole. As I sit on to drink my tea, it's the most charming thing. Congratulations on 5,000 plus downloads. And this is my 2 cents. Happy Independence Day, Belize.
In the year 1802, my ancestors, formerly known as the Black Caribs de Ganinago, came to Belize, fleeing persecution in Honduras. Sadly, today is no different for those left behind as they continue to suffer, being terrorized and even murdered for their seafront properties in Honduras. In the other Central American countries, the indigenous people continue to be marginalized, deprived of their basic human rights, and even massacred for their land. I saw in a documentary where Black Mexicans are not included in the country's census as they are deemed non-Mexicans. A few years ago, we opened our doors to Salvadoran refugees fleeing the war in their country to seek a better way of life in Belize. They formed communities and are now all Belizeans. However, in Salvador, constitutionally, you cannot be a citizen of that country if you are Black. Then you dare ask me what Belize means to me? Belize is a haven for those fleeing oppression and want a better way of life. A place where people of varied ethnicities can come together as Belizeans despite the color of their skins or beliefs. Belize is indeed the land of the free by the Carib Sea.
Despite being a small country, Belize is where I learned so much more about the world. I learned not to judge a book by its cover. The oranges and mango and papaya can outwardly look like they shouldn't be the one you choose, but then you open it up and find the treasure inside. So much of Belize is like that. In past years, Belize was referred to as Mother Nature's best-kept secret. So much of its land was in protected status. I wish it still was. I wish the people who devise policy and make future plans would have the confidence to not entertain the folks who want to drill for oil, to say no to the cruise ships. Belize is the place where I spread my entrepreneur wings. Through hard work, it's still going, thanks to some ladies who've been with me for many years. I admit to being here decades, and there are still places I have not seen, plants I don't know, fruit I have not tasted. Belize is where I became a mom, a black belt, and I learned finally, I think, how to cut up a pineapple. Happy 21st, everyone.
To me, Belize means natural beauty, colorful faces, ancient buildings like the Maya ruins, a welcoming, casual, relaxing, and lively atmosphere. Belize means hardworking, making your dreams become a reality. It is a place where you can really enjoy being with family and friends, having a good laugh, cry, or quarrel and then make up. It is enjoying a plate of rice and beans or ceviche or any of the popular street food like fried jack, garnaches, salbutes, tamales, panades. Belize means heart pumping, adrenaline rushing through your vein, bringing a big smile to your face when you listen to music that make you come alive and jive to the sound of the local soca and punta rock.
Today, as we celebrate Belize Independence Day, I reflect on our time here in this beautiful country. Our native home is in the United States, but in 2011, my husband and I found the magical island of Kikaker and decided to make it our permanent home. We love Belize for many reasons, mainly the kindness of the people and the simplicity of the life we live here. We love the beautiful ocean and excellent diving it has to offer, fishing at Turnip, the beautiful of the jungle and waterfalls in Cayo, but most of all, we love the people and the life we live here. Throughout Belize, you never meet a stranger, and when we travel and return home, everyone is welcoming and greet us as family. We found these past few months, when times are hard, we really pull together and we help each other. Thank you for Belize for allowing us to be a part of this beautiful country.
Belize, one of the important things of Belize for me is the sense of community. There are certain inside jokes that most people in the country would know when, speaking Creole and everything. It provides this feeling of togetherness. Now, of course, there are certain ways of expression that aren't widely received, and I think that's something we can work on. But in general, I think people are able to express themselves in this country to an extent. So yes.
Hi, Brent. This is Natasha from the Natasha Stewart podcast. And you ask, what does Belize mean to me? That's such a big question. I have had to record this so many times because I keep on crying just at the thought of my love for this country. Belize means everything to me. Belize is my heart and my soul and my home. Nothing can replace that. Wherever I go in the world, I carry Belize with me. I carry it with pride. I know what beauty this country has. I've seen it for myself time and time again. I am in awe of this country. What we have is quality. It's special. The people are so beautiful and special. Our culture is special. It's so unique and beautiful. I've seen that when I've traveled somewhere else. It's just been validated more that what we have is truly special. We need to continue to protect and preserve. We need to continue to support each other and work together, especially in this very difficult time. We will get through this. And I'm just proud, especially right now, to be a Belizean. Thank you so much, Brent, for putting this together. I'm sure I'm going to cry through this whole thing. I am proud of us all. Continue to share love and to spread positivity. We all need it right now. Thank you so much, Brent. Happy Independence Day, everyone.
Hey, this is Caribbean Steve.
And Jeremy Belize from 2 Teaspoons of Belize.
To us, Belize means love,
unity,
and for the most part, Belize means home, because this is where our heart is and always will be.
Also, 2 Teaspoons of Belize will forever stand for and represent Belize throughout the entire length and breadth of this country.
With that said, have a Merry Christmas.
And a Happy New Year. Nah, we're just joking.
Happy Independence Day, Belize. To every Belizean, home and abroad.
Hey, thanks to everyone who sent in messages for this special episode. And I especially want to thank my fellow Belizean podcasters for participating. Now, speaking of Belizean podcasters, I want to give a special shout out to Kareem Ferguson, who you heard earlier in this episode. Kareem is a very talented writer, director, and actor who lives in Southern California. He's also the newest member of our Belizean Pod Squad. Kareem is the co-host of a podcast called The Parity Project, which looks at the lack of representation of African Americans in the film and entertainment industry, as well as economic repression of Black people globally. I'll post a link to the Parity Project in the description for this show, and it's definitely a podcast that I think you will enjoy. Remember, you can be part of the podcast movement in Belize by sharing this show with at least one person who otherwise may not know about it. You can contact me on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram at 2 Cents Belize, or leave me a voice message to play on next week's episode by clicking on the link you'll find in the description for this show. You can also contact me by WhatsApp, and that number is also in the show description. And finally, I want to say thanks to John in Corpus Christi, Texas, and an anonymous listener here in Belize for supporting this podcast financially. There are real costs involved with creating, hosting, and promoting a podcast like this, so a couple of dollars from listeners like you really helps me out. If you'd like to chip in, you can buy me a coffee for just $3 US or $6 Belize. You'll find the link for Buy Me a Coffee in the description for this show. And that's going to do it for episode 12 of Brent's 2 Cents. I'll have another episode for you on September 28th, but until then, please stay home as much as possible, wash your hands, wear your mask, and most importantly, be nice to each other.
Brent's 2 Cents is a presentation of OSHA Productions, Belize's affordable professional video production company.